My name is Trenier. I'm an artist at the Freedman home. I think I was always an artist. My mother was a frustrated artist. She was an English teacher, but she had the gift, and she always drew and doodled. I remember as a kid seeing portraits she'd done of my father when they met in charcoal. I thought and still think in a very visual way. So when I would take notes in school, I would be drawing on my notes, and my teachers would always complain about me drawing in class. My report cards would be like, Andre's very smart if he could focus and stop drawing in class. So. I was always taught to paint very quickly, and when I started working with spray paint and actually creating images with spray paint is such an immediate tool. Like whether you're doing it right or wrong, it happens very quickly. So the paint is moving quickly, so that just adds to me being able to work fast. And over the years, after college and after I started working, I guess professionally as an illustrator, I got into this thing called art battles, and we would do these live painting competitions in different places. And the longest you'd have was 2 hours. So you'd have 2 hours broken up into like half an hour chunks, and you had to finish a painting in front of a crowd in that time. So that also pushed me to be very, very quick. We use clothing to express ourselves. So how do you express yourself more? You design the clothing that you're gonna wear. And all of the eyewear I designed were inspired by Champion's story and Champion's history. So I tried to take things that I feel like are in their company's DNA, that collegiate idea, and like a varsity jacket. They're interesting. They're all, but very much inspired by Champion. So if it's something that's always been kind of part of your history, then I think the glasses will fit in with that. I do a lot of paintings for nonprofit organizations and different things, but everything that I paint that's going to be outdoors in a community, I try and take that community in mind when I'm painting it, and I try and paint things that I feel like that community specifically can benefit from or relate to and be inspired by. I recently came back, I was able to go to Chicago and do a mural out there on the west side with Chairman Fred Hampton. And that project was really a great one. I saw the effect it had directly on the community, and there were a lot of people that this was their first time really being educated as to who Fred Hampton was. So I have been doing more things like that, more pieces. I feel like it's a conversation starter and a place where parents can start to educate their kids, or even adults can learn about somebody they previously were ignorant to. And there were several people that said they were going to go home and Google Fred Hampton and learn his story. So that's to me what it's about. The Freedman home has also allowed me to work with the community in this area, and that engagement has helped my work grow tremendously. Since I've been here, we've painted the exterior walls a few times. The ones that are currently there are, there's a Muhammad Ali portrait I did. When I found out Muhammad Ali had passed, myself, Luz, Serve, a few other people, Spacecraft, who was an artist in residence at the time, we all painted that wall together. The whole time I was painting him, I was just thinking about kind of his example as a man, as a human being, and what he stood for, what he represented. It made me think of what I'm supposed to be doing as an artist, as a person who has a voice that other people listen to. So it's inspiring, and I guess it reminds me that I need to do more. So the first mural I painted was actually a rest in peace mural for a friend of mine that was murdered. But I might do 1 or 2 a year. And that was a hard thing for me to deal with emotionally, because it felt to an extent like I was profiting off of somebody's pain. And although I was bringing something, I was bringing them a way to mourn and a way to kind of see their loved one again, there was still a part of it that just didn't sit right for me. And it was, you know, it was a love-hate thing. And I started to enjoy murals a lot more when I started to paint pieces that were less personal, pieces that weren't memorial pieces, but were more celebratory. A lot of other people who are heroes to me. I started a series of murals celebrating people that are still alive and celebrating fatherhood and things like that. And I get to educate people, I get to show people things in a different light and hopefully, you know, change their perspective on things. One of the pieces that was very special to me, was actually the largest mural I'd done at that point, was the Heavy D and the Boys mural up in Mount Vernon. They dedicated a park to Heavy D and the Boys, and I was chosen to do this big mural that's behind the basketball court, so it's kind of the length of a full court. Heavy D was, when I was growing up, was a fixture in hip hop and rap music. He was, you know, he made a lot of the music that I danced to, that was playing at parties when I was at that age. One of his dancers, Troy, had died years ago, and I didn't feel like there was ever a memorial for him. So I was happy to be able to honor him in the Heavy D piece. And yeah, through that, I got a chance to meet his mother, who does a lot of work up there in Mount Vernon. She still runs the community center up there. The last two murals that I did on Alexander Avenue, Norman Rockwell had did 4 paintings called The 4 Freedoms. I chose 2 of those pieces as inspiration. It was us just trying to do something timely and something that related directly to some of the struggles that people are going through now, and that just the color of your skin will put you in positions where your life may be in danger, and what that feels like for a parent. I set the freedom of speech scene as a protest scene, updated to what's been happening currently. After a lot of discussion with the guys that commissioned me, we ended up making the little girl an Afro-Latina girl. More often than not, I've had good reactions, and I've gotten the reactions that I've wanted. So I try not to think about it though. I try and just paint and enjoy it and make sure that I feel good about the piece and the message that I put into it, and then I completely let it go.